Red Bull Racing officially announced on July 27, 2026 the appointment of Gwen Lagrue as the new director of the Red Bull Junior program. The Frenchman takes on the role starting in 2027, succeeding Helmut Marko, who ran the program for 2 decades and left the team at the end of 2025. Lagrue arrives from Mercedes, where he was responsible for talent development for 11 years. During that time, he played a major role in developing George Russell and Kimi Antonelli, both of whom reached Formula One through the Mercedes Junior program. At Red Bull, Lagrue will report directly to team principal Laurent Mekies and join the team's leadership group. Initial reports about talks between Lagrue and Red Bull had already surfaced on July 20, 2026. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff confirmed at the time that discussions about Lagrue's future were underway, without an agreement yet in place. Mekies commented on the appointment after the official announcement. He described Lagrue as one of the best talent developers in Formula One. Gwen is one of the very best talent developers in F1, Mekies said in the official team statement. He also paid tribute to Marko, who, according to Mekies, built the program over more than 2 decades and turned it into the benchmark in Formula One. Lagrue himself described the move as a new chapter in his career. After 11 memorable years at Mercedes, I felt this was the right moment, he said in the same statement. Mercedes, for its part, bid farewell with a short message on social media and confirmed that leadership of its own junior program will now be handled by a team of 7 to 9 people overseen by deputy team principal Bradley Lord. Before joining Mercedes, Lagrue had led the junior program at the former Lotus team, prior to it becoming Renault. Alongside Russell and Antonelli, he also oversaw drivers such as Esteban Ocon, Frédéric Vasseur, and Paul Aron during his years at Mercedes, all of whom are now active in various racing series. This appointment has to be seen in the context of a string of other departures from Red Bull. Chief designer Adrian Newey left the team for Aston Martin. Longtime team principal Christian Horner was removed from his position during 2025. Former sporting director Jonathan Wheatley and chief engineer Rob Marshall have also left the team. It was recently confirmed that race engineer Gianpiero Lambiase, the longtime engineer of Max Verstappen, will move to McLaren. The future of chief engineer Paul Monahan is also the subject of speculation, with reports linking him to Cadillac. There is no official confirmation of that move so far. Under Marko's leadership, drivers including Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, Daniel Ricciardo, Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon came through the junior program into Formula One. Currently, the next generation of drivers is going through the program, including Arvid Lindblad, who made his debut with Racing Bulls this season, and reigning Formula 2 points leader Nicolas Salov. According to the official team statement, Lagrue will be responsible for the identification, development and progression of the next generation of drivers, and will formally begin his new role in 2027. Alongside these personnel decisions, another question is occupying the team: the future of Max Verstappen. The 4-time world champion has a performance-related exit clause in his contract, which runs through 2028. That clause required Verstappen to be in the top 2 of the Drivers' Championship at the summer break in order to remain bound to the team. Following his retirement at the British Grand Prix in Silverstone, that target became mathematically impossible. At that point, Verstappen sat 7th in the overall standings, 78 points behind second-placed George Russell. The retirement was caused by a technical failure of the rear wing, after a similar issue had caused a spin a week earlier at the Austrian Grand Prix. Verstappen described the situation afterward as dangerous. "It's getting very dangerous for me," he said after the race in Silverstone, following the Hungarian Grand Prix, the final race before the summer break. The picture has shifted further. Kimi Antonelli leads the Drivers' Championship with 219 points. Verstappen himself, after finishing second in Hungary, sits in sixth place with 109 points, well behind the leading duo of Antonelli and Lewis Hamilton. According to reports, Verstappen turned down an offer from Red Bull over the summer to buy out the exit clause for a payment of €8 million and extend his contract through 2028. McLaren is regarded as the most likely destination. A move to Mercedes, by contrast, is considered ruled out, since team principal Toto Wolff is committed to both Russell and Antonelli. McLaren CEO Zak Brown dismissed speculation about signing Verstappen when asked, pointing to his existing driver pairing of Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Verstappen's manager Raymond Vermeulen also recently commented on his driver's situation, describing a competitive car as the central condition for his future. Verstappen must inform Red Bull of any decision by October at the latest. According to Planet F1, a possible move to McLaren is now in the closing stages of negotiation. Former Formula One driver Jenson Button commented on the situation on Sky Sports, advising Verstappen to be ruthless and selfish in his decision. His former Sky colleague Martin Brundle pointed to the example of Lewis Hamilton, who found a reset after moving from Mercedes to Ferrari, and considered a similar step possible for Verstappen in the long run. A comparable situation had already arisen in 2025, when Verstappen's future was similarly uncertain before he recommitted to Red Bull ahead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Lagru's appointment and the open situation around Verstappen are two separate developments that together show how Red Bull is wrestling with its structure and its future on multiple fronts at once. An important personnel decision is also looming at Williams in the coming weeks. Carlos Sainz and the team under Principal James Vowles are, according to matching reports from the Spanish newspaper Marca and the outlet Racing News 365, in the closing stages of negotiations over a contract extension. An announcement is expected before the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort, though as of the most recent reporting no signature had yet been confirmed. The €30 million annual salary figure that has been circulating is being questioned by several outlets. Marca has reported that this figure is inflated and originally came from a marketing consultant. Sainz, according to consistent reporting, currently earns around €13 million per year. Under discussion is a one-year extension for the 2027 season with a noticeable salary increase, and possibly a performance-related exit clause of his own, similar to the arrangement in Verstappen's contract. The context for these negotiations is a difficult season for Williams. The team sits in ninth place in the Constructors' Championship after 11 of 23 races. Williams missed the pre-season test in Barcelona entirely, and the FW48 was, according to reports, between 20 and 28 kilograms over the minimum weight of 768 kilograms early in the season. Sainz had also reported early in the season that the front wing flexed at high speed, affecting the car's aerodynamic balance. The Spaniard has scored points on 3 occasions this season. Team principal James Vowles recently admitted that there is more work to be done at his team than at most of the competition. As an alternative should Sainz decide against an extension, media reports repeatedly mention the name Sergio Perez, who currently drives for Cadillac and has largely outperformed teammate Valtteri Bottas this season. This scenario, however, remains